So, I'm doing this. Can I hear? Let me make sure I can hear myself. I'm doing this video one take, probably uploading it today. Very little editing. Just because I have been sort of following the Toby Turner controversy that has been happening recently. And I say sort of following because I've kind of just been like looking at Twitter every now and then. And then I just watched the LOLcow Live, which is of course Keemstar's famous show that is just all about exploiting its guests and making content and overall being idiotic and stupid and brain dead.
I hate being alive! I hate being alive! I hate breathing! I hate being alive! I'm in tremendous pain! I'm in tremendous pain! Help me! Help me! Help!
And if you can't tell, this is a rant video. I have no script, I'm just talking. So to give you the rundown, if you don't know anything about Toby Turner, you definitely do. He made that like Nugget and a Biscuit song. Huge YouTube star back in the day, or back in the early YouTube days, was huge on like children's content like Minecraft and stuff like that. I used to watch him as a kid. I used to love his stuff as a kid. I'm sure many people watching this did. This video will not be about the controversy that he faced in 2018, I believe.
And I want to be crystal clear.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit.
Simply because there's a million videos on YouTube covering that. There's probably already a million videos on YouTube covering this. I recommend watching June the King's downfall video or rise and fall video. I forget the name of it. But June is a great content creator, talks about this specific topic at length. But essentially, the controversy we're talking about today is in the past 2 days, I believe, Tobuscus has been making some pretty crazy tweets, to say the least. It all started, or not all started, he's actually been down the right-wing, heavy conservative pipeline for a while now. Specifically, kind of started around 2020. He made this video which has lived in infamy, titled "I Met Kyle Rittenhouse."
I should stop praising him for hunting pedophiles. He didn't even know. He didn't know they were pedophiles. He probably thought they were black.
Which, from this name of it, he met Kyle Rittenhouse. He talks very fondly of the young chap, makes some great comments towards this wonderful young man who possessed an AR-15 and left his house with an AR-15 with intent to guard a business and ended up killing people. And one thing that I really want to focus on, or not focus on, touch on in this video is Tobuscus is a man-child, like an actual man-child.
I'm gonna loot Walmart and then I'm gonna burn it down and then I'm gonna burn down the buildings next to it and then I'm gonna beat up an old lady and then This is the first time in this LOLcow Live video that I've ever seen a video of him where he's not using the baby voice that he used in child's content back in the early YouTube days. He's actually talking like, well, I won't say he's talking like a regular person because he's an insane man. But he's talking like a human being instead of like a baby. Well, babies are human beings. You know what I mean. If you notice, I'm kind of like attacking at him. This is a rant video. There's going to be like 30 people that watch this. I'm just going to kind of talk about this man because it genuinely pains me to see someone so idiotic and stupid. But essentially, the way that this controversy started was Tobuscus tweeted out the N-word. Just very bluntly. I think he literally just said it in like a 4-word sentence. I will obviously not be recounting any of the tweets that Tobuscus has been tweeting out because they quite literally almost all include some sort of slur or slight at a race or a gender or a sexuality or something. He's really just, he's out there, you know. He's really trying his hardest to appeal to the cool guys of the internet. But essentially, about his character in specific, that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video, is how did we get to this point? You know, how did we get to the point of famed guy making all-around horrible tweets? How did we get here? And I believe it relates back to the controversy. He was canceled for all of the allegations that were thrown towards him. To give you a very, very short rundown, I know I said I wouldn't, but you kind of do have to understand it a little bit. Long story short, he was accused of, because I can't say the word on YouTube, he was accused of
doing unconsensual acts to his ex-partner in this long Tumblr post that his ex-partner made. But to give a fair shot to both sides, Toby later came out and said that there was no unconsensual actions between the two, and multiple of Toby's girlfriends said the same thing, that Toby was in fact a drug addict who was cheating on them and at the very least mentally abusive towards them. But they both confirmed that he never did anything unconsensual towards them. And unfortunately, it is a case of her word against his in terms of the consensual part of it. And he claims that that never happened, and he claims a bunch of other things. You can go into the June the King video, and he really covers everything. But long story short, he was in fact canceled for this and did not have a career essentially anywhere afterwards. Keep in mind, Tobuscus was a huge name, not just in YouTube. This guy was getting commercials, TV roles, even some movies. Like, this guy was huge, possibly even getting bigger in Hollywood especially. And so his entire career was axed at that moment, essentially. He made YouTube videos, of course, but only to like the core audience or people just hating on him, you know, like hate watching. It's one of those cases of a extreme horrible event or traumatizing event or something that like really messes someone's life up directly leads into them just kind of falling off of the deep end. And a perfect example of this, which Tobuscus politely includes in his tirade of insanity, is Kanye West.
Hey, a lot of you guys requested this cover. I'm just going to do a quick cover of this new song. It's by Ye. I haven't heard it yet, but I love him. He's great. So let's start out.
Something that my roommate actually brought up that I believe he saw somewhere was, it's interesting to see that Kanye was always a divisive character.
And in Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
But he was never truly the way that he is today until Donda died, his mother. And once Donda died, he kind of fell off the deep end completely. And he's of course made songs titled Heil, made a song about Diddy, you know. And of course, if you've kept up with anything happening with Kanye, you know exactly what I mean. I'm not going to explain that either. But long story short, he fell down a insanely crazy pipeline of just spouting nonsense and hatred and bigotry and just insanity. And I believe Tobuscus is a similar case. You know, he has no audience. He has no one watching his content that actually matters. He has no one interested in what he has to say. No one is paying attention to Toby Turner. And I, of course, would never be making a video about Toby Turner if he didn't tweet some hateful stuff. It truly is just a case of pandering to that audience that is going to latch on to this hateful stuff just so you have someone to talk to. Which is why I'm making this video as a direct way to say that is pathetic. This idea that once you're canceled, you have to pander to a hateful audience is just hilariously pathetic in every way, shape, and form. And Toby Turner seems to be a clear example of this pathetic nature of a creator. And that's what made me make this, honestly. It's just, it's something that I've noticed for a while with creators like this, is that once they get canceled, they have nothing to lose. So they can say whatever they want, they can be however hateful they want, they have literally nothing to lose. And look at where we are. Toby Turner is on a live podcast with Keemstar and Boogie2988, two of the most hated creators on YouTube. And it has like 27,000 views. It has 27,000 views. That's like... I honestly thought this show was popular. Like, I thought that he had way more views than this. That's pathetic. That's, to use the word again, that's pathetic. And this video really is just to laugh at these people. A second ago, I was watching it, and by the way, most dreadful thing to sit through ever. It's so boring. I skipped through the entire portion of the video until it got to Tobuscus's part, which is only 30 minutes, and it's still so boring. Like, it's crazy. They don't talk about anything interesting. Every time they're talking, Tobuscus is like, yeah, I got this crazy thing, and I used to work for the government, or I knew people who worked in the government, and they told me back in 2019, you know, something's coming that I needed to get out of LA and move to Florida. And this was months before COVID, and I was tweeting about this and posting YouTube videos about this, and it was getting deleted before I could even post it. Which, by the way, how does a YouTube video get deleted before you could even post it? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But even if he is telling the truth, which, by the way, the all-credible Keemstar confirms he is telling the truth.
So the coronavirus happened after that. So, like, I had, like, a 6 months heads up. So no one in the world knew about it except for me. And I tweeted about it, and I got my account restricted, and I got my videos taken down, and no one knew about it except for
you are telling the fucking truth. You are telling the fucking truth. I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know things that only I know. And you are telling the fucking truth. You are telling the truth.
Even if he is telling the truth, why are you talking about this, dude? COVID was 5 years ago. No one cares, dude. To bring up the word again, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's insane. It's insane that creators on this platform make content like this. Like, I'm genuinely amazed that this kind of content exists on this platform. This show is garbage. And I realize in uploading this that all I'm doing is feeding fuel to the fire. I'm giving these people what they want. I'm showing that I'm upset by it. But I'm honestly not upset by it. I find this just hilarious. And I'm really glad that someone like Toby Turner is having this kind of downfall, because it shows that pandering to an audience like this just makes you look idiotic. And it's the same thing with Kanye. Everything he tweets and everything he says is clearly an act and just to be controversial, and it feels like that's the exact same thing happening with Toby Turner. Oh guys, look at me, I can tweet out the N-word. I'm finally speaking my truth. Okay? Dude, you were a children's content creator and you lost everything. What are you trying to do? Do you think you look cool? Dude, you look like this. You think you look cool? Yeah, that's basically it, you know. I just kind of had to rant. These people are stupid. Keemstar, you're an idiot. Tobuscus, you're an idiot. Boogie, get on a different show, man.
Love,
Being alive,
love,
being alive,
love,
breathing,
love,
being alive. I'm a tremendous
joy,
I'm a tremendous
joy.
I mean, like, you're politely, Boogie, you are also an idiot, and you scammed people with your cryptocurrency.
fatty for life.
Fatty for life, yeah. Look at this graph. Looks like every other rug pull shitcoin that ever entered the market.
So you suck too. But yeah, I never do this. I never just like attack people. But who cares? Also, one funny thing that Toby mentioned in this video is that he's like suing everybody, which is like the perfect ending to this, because like, of course you are. Of course you are. You act as if you're so big and high and mighty on your horse of slurs, and then people reply to your comments and you spend all day replying to them, and now you're suing them. Okay, you're cool, man. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, I counted manually, he's tweeted around 560 times in 3 days. To bring up the word again, pathetic. That's all. Thank you.